So this will be a bit of a continuation of my video about Donald Trump committing a lot of logical fallacies. Now, I am a person that I like logic. I like philosophy. I like the idea of having philosophically sound, logically sound debates. However, you can't live your entire life committed to a single thing, like philosophy, science, whatever. There's times where you need to recognize reality and take a different angle. And this is a good example of this because you could say, there's gonna be a lot of people say, oh, well, it's just like a fifth grader when he calls Ted Cruz lying Ted, oh, it's fifth grader, oh, logical fallacy ad hominem, blah, 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 blah. But what they don't realize is this is what's effective. This is what works. Donald Trump is a genius in many aspects, I would say. He's a real estate billionaire, but in marketing, okay, because he understands to put ideas in people's head, to put memes, the definition of meme in people's heads, easy forms of communication, it has to be short and sweet. It can't be really long. I mean, you can see this with Ben Carson. I like Ben Carson. I like Ben Carson a lot. But when you listen to his speeches, or you listen to his points, it's like, well, we're going to, make the tax plan 10% for this, 8% for this, and you're gonna save 10,000 on this part, and over this many years, and 2, 4, 6, just throwing out a bunch of numbers. People don't recognize that. Meanwhile, Trump comes along and says, "You're gonna have more money than ever before because I'm gonna lower tax," or something like that. But the point is, his message resonates easier in our brain. It's more palatable for us. And the same goes for insults. Like Ted Cruz can be like, well, my tax plan is this, and I do this and I do this. Trump, his tax plan is this. He actually argues on fine points. Although I'm making something. This is a hypothetical. Like makes up all of these points, right? Makes all these points, and then the logically sound, the philosophically sound response would be like, well, Ted is wrong about this because of this, 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 and he goes off each point. But no, he says lying Ted, pulls up the Bible, then he lies, and he wins. Not in terms of philosophical debate, but he wins at his goal. His goal is to get votes. His goal is to be the Republican nominee. His goal is to be the president. In order to get to that point, it's far more productive to do it this way instead of just arguing all these fine points. Just keep it short and sweet. That sticks in people's head. A bunch of numbers and all these stats and whatever, those don't stick in people's heads. Short and sweet responses that are punchy, funny, and have some sort of meaning behind it, like calling someone a liar, that has meaning, this type of thing. So I'm not saying you should insult people, although I think if you're playing a game, right, which I think politics is a game, yeah, you're playing the game, right, so I don't think there's really an issue with that, but the main point is, when you're trying to communicate an idea with someone, don't focus on all the, fine points. I'm not saying there's not a time for that, there are times for that, but in general, if you really want to get a message across, you should try to keep the main points as short and sweet as possible. Now, after that, if you want to get into the fine points and, go over all the little details and stats, that's fine. But when someone listens to you, they should be able to pick out a short soundbite that sums up your message.